And now we're going to go back to the State of the Union address and the conversation around it. Joining us now to talk about it is Jeff Crouere. He's the political analyst and host of Ringside Politics, and Mike Leon, host of the Can We Please Talk podcast, as well as the lead anchor with the Legal Podcast Network. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. There's so many fireworks last night. Lots of sweet moments and, of course, lots of divisive moments. Jeff, let's get your initial reactions.
Oh, I thought it was a home run. I was just mesmerized by it. What I loved was all the heroes that were identified, the hockey team, the military heroes, the everyday Americans that had suffered from violence of illegal aliens. The president gave out a lot of awards, Purple Hearts, Congressional Medal of Freedom. I mean, it was inspiring to me. I thought it was his best State of the Union. I thought it's going to do well with the American people. A lot of themes that he hit on, I think, were popular ones. So we'll see when the polls come out. But right now, my take is that it was a very successful speech, and the president, from looking at him afterwards, seemed to be pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, and certainly the longest speech, if nothing else, right? Mike, love to get your reactions. Great to see you as well.
Yeah, good to see you, Carrie and Jeff. I wouldn't classify it as a home run, obviously, because of my political leanings. Maybe a single. He's on base for sure. There's a couple of things that I agree with from the speech last night. You know, I would have stood up and clapped about insider trading and banning, members of Congress from doing that. Not sure why there were anybody sitting in the room from that. My problem is the person that's leading that has, kind of made money while he's been in political office. So I am behind that in theory. I think we do need to do something about cashless bail in this country. That story in North Carolina of that poor girl getting stabbed on that subway station or bus, I believe it was, is horrific. And it speaks about the different issues that we have across different states with respect to cashless bail. There's a bunch of different things that I actually agreed with the president on yesterday that I was kind of nodding along as we were doing our episode last night live. But then there's some things that you just can't get past numbers wise, right? Gas on a national average is $2.37. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York found that 90% of American households are paying the brunt of tariffs and the impact of tariff costs, about $1,000 to $1,300 per family, right? So there are things from an economic standpoint, and Trump's approval rating that is continuing to go down. His support amongst Latino community like myself, not necessarily me, I'm talking about Latinos in general, is down to about 22% from where it was at the 24 election cycle. So I think those are things that he has to reckon with, and those are things that yesterday from the speech, I think he didn't do as much, which I thought he would. He didn't do as much of revisionist history and things like that. There were a couple of moments when he talks about inheriting inflation. He inherited 3%, not 9%, where it was with Biden in July of 2022. So there are some things that I actually took from the speech that I thought Donald Trump was going to revert back to his old ways, and he actually didn't do that. So for that, I'll give him the base hit, Carrie.
All right, a base hit from Mike, and that's certainly better than what we potentially were expecting from you. But you bring up some really interesting and important points about the kitchen table issues in economics, not macroeconomics, but household economics. So, Jeff, I'd like to get your reaction to Trump's speech last night. Particularly, did he reinforce to what's going into the midterm cycle, a momentum on the economic issue?
He focused on the economy. It wasn't a lot about foreign policy. It was mostly about the economy. I thought the president, talked about how things are looking better as far as prices. Obviously, gas prices are way down. Egg prices are down. He said meat prices are going to be coming down. He talked about issues that everyday Americans can relate to. Inflation was 9% in 2022 under Biden. It did come down toward the end of Biden's term, but it takes a while to recover from, a hit like that to the economy. So the president in a year, I think, has had stabilized the unemployment rate. The growth is occurring in the economy. Interest rates have come down a few times. Inflation is down. I think that's affordability. Gas prices are way down. So when you look at the overall economic situation, I think it's only going to get better with the one big, beautiful bill. That's going to be more tax cuts for the American people. So he's got a lot of good things that have happened. More good things are going to be happening in 2026. So that's why some Republicans are confident about the midterm. They think that, with the economy getting better, with people having more money in their pockets, that the American people will vote Republican to keep it going. So we'll see. But again, I'm glad the focus was on the American people and on domestic issues last night.
Yeah, and I do want to play this sound clip. Was potentially one of the more polarizing moments. Let's play that now.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. And of course, the Democrats did not stand for that. We're kind of running low on time. I'd like to get you both to react. If you could each take 30 seconds. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, again, he set a trap there, and very well crafted by whoever wrote that trap there. But the facts are, look, if we want to protect American citizens, what happened in Minnesota with respect to ICE operations and enforcement and the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, we're not protecting American citizens in that vein. We have to start treating people with human efforts in mind, right? There's no reason why we can't have an ICE and folks that are enforcing the laws on this books, but also understanding the human element, right? Like, we should be getting rid of the bad hombres, not necessarily the people that have been here for decades, like my daughter's teacher, who just recently got deported back to Honduras down here in Miami. And now my daughter, without her teacher, who is asking me questions. And that's a real thing that happened at Banyan Day School down here in Coral Gables, Florida. So, I mean, that's just a person that's contributing to society. That's not somebody that should have been caught up in these operations. So we have to start having the human element to it. I get why Democrats didn't stand, but that statement was definitely a trap set by the president, a well-set trap by the president.
Yeah, and Jeff, your reaction to that clip and to Mike's point about his daughter's teacher.
It was the worst moment for the Democrats when they didn't stand for the American people. I mean, the country is for the citizens. I mean, people are here illegally. They need to be deported. The way they are deported is controversial sometimes, but we need to have the American people be a priority. And that's what that statement really crystallized, and the Democrats wouldn't stand for that. So I think that's going to hurt them. That's going to be seen in campaign ads coming forward in the midterm. This is an issue that could turn around for the Republicans just based on that. So yes, Mike's right. They crafted it well. The Democrats fell into the trap, and it's going to be one the Republicans are going to use in these upcoming midterms. No doubt about it.
Well, look, guys, I don't want to end on a sour note. Clearly, there's a lot of gray here on a lot of these issues. But Mike, with you, just one heartwarming moment. For me, it was the hockey. For you, Mike?
Yeah, same thing. I was in Vegas traveling and I woke up and saw the overtime period. So it was phenomenal to see. And obviously everyone knows how good Canada is at hockey. It's their sport. So the fact that the U.S. was able to obviously win the gold medal, that was a heartwarming moment for sure.
Thanks for that. And Jeff, as we finish up, one heartwarming moment from yesterday's speech for you.
For me, it was the 100-year-old veteran who received the, Congressional Medal of Freedom, the gentleman who had, survived all the wars. He was there, received a tremendous applause from both Democrats and Republicans. So for me, that was my favorite moment, to honor that 100-year-old veteran the way he did. I thought that was special.
Well said. Jeff Crouere, Mike Leon, thank you so much for joining.